Welcome to this gentle flow for menstrual cramps. I recommend that you grab a pillow if you have one or a bolster for a prop. You'll notice I'm wearing sweatpants. That is the vibe for this class. It's very ooey gooey, cozy, comfy, melting away the cramps sort of vibe. My name is Shelagh and I am a holistic dietitian specializing in hormone health, a somatic nutritionist, and a yoga teacher. So if any of that sounds like your jam, make sure that you subscribe so you don't miss out on any videos in the future. This class is going to be perfect for those first few uncomfortable, crampy days of your cycle. I personally am a huge fan of getting my period. I think it's a really beautiful time to slow down and turn in and be with your body. Our intuition is really heightened during this menstrual phase as well. So it's just a really nice time to sort of slow down and turn in. So we'll start on our backs with your feet on the mat. So knees are facing up towards the ceiling and just sort of settling in, noticing where your body meets the mat, where the earth is pushing up against you. Maybe you tuck your shoulders behind your back to open up the front of the heart. Maybe one hand comes to your heart, one hand comes to your belly or your womb space. You can walk your feet a little wide so your knees fall in together, supporting each other. And just take a few moments to settle here. Maybe setting an intention for this brief practice. It could be an intention to send love to your sacral chakra area, love to your womb space. And then shifting your attention to your breath. Noticing as your hands rise and fall as you breathe. Noticing, is the hand on your belly rising? Is the hand on your chest rising? Are they both rising? That will show you where your breath is going. And then as you inhale, start to lead with that hand on your low belly coming up first. Filling all the way up from the bottom up, and then pouring all the way out. And then taking a moment here to move through a brief body scan, noticing where you might feel a little crampy, where you might feel less than ideal. Can you visualize sending your breath to that space? Maybe your breath is a warm liquid gold, sending love to those cramps like an internal heating pad. And the warmth is starting to loosen up any tension that might be there. And despite any discomfort that you might be feeling right now, seeing if maybe you can just set an intention to honor your body and show gratitude to your body for bleeding in the first place. If you have ever struggled with missing or irregular cycles, you know the pride and joy that can come with getting your period at all. And throughout this video, if you'd like to stay on any pose longer, feel free to pause. But if you're ready to move on and get started, you can hug your knees into your chest. Maybe you gently rock from side to side, sort of massaging out your low back. Maybe you inhale to the right, exhale to the left. Staying with your breath through this whole flow. And then you can bring your hands to your knees and start to draw some circles on the ceiling with your knees. Bringing a little bit of movement and space into your hips, lubricating the joints, maybe massaging out a crampy space. You can switch directions. And on your next exhale, we'll plant our feet on the mat and just windshield wiper your knees from left to right. Maybe your hand comes back to your chest, your heart space, and your belly. After your next exhale, come back through center. You can plant your left foot on the mat, lifting your right foot and placing your right ankle on your left knee. Maybe you stay right here, and this is perfect, this little figure 4 situation that we've got going on. If you'd like to take it further on your next exhale, you can hug your left knee to your chest, bringing this whole shape in towards your chest. And breathing here, sending your inhales to any tension that you might be feeling, likely on the outside of your right hip. Visualizing with every exhale, can you pull this shape 0.5% closer to your chest? And continuing to imagine that gold liquid light coming in with your inhales, sending warmth and comfort to your womb space. On your next exhale, we'll release this shape back down to the mat. And then bring your right foot back to the mat, and then we'll take another few rounds of that windshield wiper movement. A few passes left to right. You might hear a snap, crackle, pop or two. Next time you come back through center, we'll switch sides. So bringing your left ankle to your right knee, bringing your left knee open to the side, and maybe you stay right here. If you'd like to take it further on your next exhale, you can pull this whole shape up closer to your chest. With every exhale, you're stretching a little bit deeper, or maybe not. Maybe you stay right where you are right now and just use that breath to imagine giving that warm hug, that warm golden bath to your body. You might notice that this side feels a little bit differently than the other. That would be perfectly human and normal. Last few breaths here. And after your next exhale, we're gonna move towards a tabletop. So you can get there however you'd like. Maybe you roll up and down and rock over your ankles. But I will meet you in this neutral tabletop. So hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. On your inhale, we'll drop your belly, open up your chest, gaze up. Exhale, send the back of your heart up towards the ceiling, tuck your chin. Inhale, Open up. Exhale. Arch your back. And you can keep moving through this, or maybe you start to bring some intuitive movement into it. That could be some barrel rolls with your spine. You could bring your hips back to your ankles. Make it yours. Don't worry so much about what it looks like. And we'll come into a wide leg child pose. And so you can take your pillow in your lap and sort of just gently fall over it. It feels really, really lovely to have that pillow support. Maybe you visualize sending your breath to the back of your heart space. Can you expand the space between the ribs and the fascia with your breath? Ultimately creating a little bit more space for you to inch your fingertips up. Or maybe creating space for you to sink back deeper into your hips. Maybe after a while you widen your knees and sink back further that way. On your next inhale, we're going to shift up forward, briefly moving through tabletop, losing your pillow, bringing your knees back closer together, and then we are going to flip the toes, lift the knees, and come back to down dog. We're not going to be here for long, just finding some length in the back line of the body, letting your head hang heavy. And on your inhale, we're going to lift up our right foot and step it to the outside of our right hand. Option to stay right here. Maybe you lower your left knee. Maybe you take your right hand and press your right knee away from your body. Maybe you come onto your forearms. Or maybe you move through those different variations slowly. Maybe you take a completely different variation. Just opening up a little bit of space in the hips. Sending a little extra TLC to this bleeding space of the body. On your next inhale, you can flip those back left toes. We'll lift the left knee, step back into downward facing dog. Maybe you pedal out the feet before we switch sides. Then you can inhale, lift your left foot. Exhale, step it to the outside of your left hand. Maybe you lower the right knee. And then we'll settle in on this side. You might notice that a different variation feels better on this side. That would be perfectly normal. And on your next inhale, we'll move back through down dog. Step back with your left foot. Option to pedal out your feet here. And then from here, we're gonna find our way onto our backs. Take your pillow and put it underneath your hips. So just give them a little bit of elevation. And you're gonna take the bottoms of your feet, bring them together, and let your knees fall open. You can bring one hand to your heart, another hand to your belly. Option to tuck your shoulders back as we did in the beginning of this flow. And start to settle back into your breath. Notice any shifts in your energy that have occurred over the last few minutes of this gentle movement. Something else that I love about getting my period is this renewal energy of it. We're bleeding, we're starting a new cycle over. We have a clean slate, a fresh start. We are literally shedding the old. And with that, your menstrual phase is a very intuitive phase of your cycle. So with that, how can we harness this wisdom and reflect on the month behind us to look forward, plan, manifest for the month ahead? So when you think about it as actually this really beautiful time to be with your body, it's not so bad. I should add that mild cramps are normal. Bad cramps and pain are not. And before I leave you here in your final Shavasana, where I do encourage you to stay if you have time, I want to let you know that if you are experiencing a lot of pain, sometimes as women, we have to advocate for ourselves with healthcare providers. If you are looking for support with your hormones, period pain, irregular cycles, PCOS, anything in that realm, I will leave resources in the description. So I'm going to leave you here in this final resting Shavasana. Invitation to keep this intention of this practice with you through your day, through the rest of your menstrual phase. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you for practicing with me. I hope to see you back here on your mat really soon. Shanti, shanti, shanti. Namaste.